Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sports Animal. Now is the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Draft day. I mean, it's not exactly the NFL draft, but it's a big deal. If hoops is your thing, or hoops is your business, or you're a young hoopster, or I don't know, you go out and shoot around a little bit, or you got beat by your kid in the driveway playing horse, well, then it's a big day. Cooper Flagg will be the big name. That's the certain. After that, there's lots of uncertainties. And there's trades, and there's signings, and there's what the hell moments going on. And, well, we're here for it. And good morning. Merry Wednesday to you. Welcome to the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta. Isaiah Johnson's in for JJ this week. How you living?
I'm feeling great, and that was a great way to open it up at the horse. That really pulls you into basketball.
I'm glad you appreciate the way I start these shows in the morning. Yeah, I actually really do appreciate that. I put a little thought into how I start the shows every morning, and how we're gonna, open up with a little bit of a take and something instead of, hey, good morning and welcome to the show.
Yeah, one of the main things that they teach you in English class is your intro is everything.
Well, yeah.
Also in life, you hear your first impressions, everything.
One of the main things I've learned doing the show for 17 years and being in this business for, I don't want to start counting decades, but come in hot with an idea. So yeah, the draft is today. And we're watching weird stuff happen. I think I say weird because I'm not sure I expected the Celtics to, I don't know, blow it up, but they're talking about it. I'm not sure I expected ever to see a headline that says Nuggets president brings up Nikola Jokic trade scenario, right?
Oh.
I mean, it's just stuff like, what, right? Right? If that's out there, everybody's picking up the phone, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. And, we thought that when the big Luka trade happened, it was like, okay, no one's safe. But it's different in the offseason. When it happens in the offseason, it feels like there's more thought behind it. If Jokic is on the trade block, oh, my goodness.
Well, I don't know that he is.
Okay.
But, when you listen to Josh Kroenke, who's the team president, and he's the son of the owner, and he's speaking to the media, and he offered up, weird sound bites regarding Nikola Jokic. And one soundbite was, a standard piece of NBA business. Denver would offer Nikola Jokic the extension they're allowed to offer him this summer. But he wasn't sure if Jokic would accept it. That's because he can make a lot more money if he waits and signs his extension next year.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, let the man get his money. I mean, he brought you your only championship ever. He is a two-time MVP?
Yeah, I think it's 3.
Okay. But then there was this. It was in a response to a question about the team's willingness to spend. They go into that second apron, which you're hearing a lot. I'm not going to get into the whole semantics, but there's thresholds, and taxes get higher and more severe on teams as they exceed the cap by different apron levels, and hence the dumping spree that the Celtics are currently involved. So there was a question about the Broncos, the Nuggets' willingness to spend and go into that second apron. They didn't do it last year. That's when they let Kentavious Caldwell-Pope leave in free agency. And Kroenke, the team president here, Josh Kroenke, not Stan the owner, but Josh used his answer kind of to explain why the Nuggets will not do that by willingly bringing up unprompted the disaster scenario that I think every Nuggets fan is terrified of, a world where they would trade Nikola Jokic. The quote was this: I think that for us as an organization, going into that second apron is not something that we're scared of. I think that there are rules around it that we need to be very careful of with our injury history. The wrong person gets injured, and very quickly you're into a scenario that I never want to have to contemplate, and that's trading number 15. And so we're very conscious of that, pushing forward and providing the resources that we can when the moment arrives. But the second apron is it a hard cap? I'm not 100% sure, but it's something that teams are obviously aware of going forward, end quote. Okay, I don't know what any of that really means.
Yeah.
Basically saying if Jamal Murray gets hurt, we have to trade Nikola Jokic. Why would you ever, out of your lips, freak out your fan base and, I don't know, maybe freak out a star who I think is a pretty confident dude, but I think every star's ego is fragile?
Yeah.
Bring up the potential of trading number 15?
Yeah, that's I would expect, when he said, the scenario, the nightmare scenario is when you'd have to trade him. I thought he was going to say if it became one of those situations where Jokic is saying, look, I'm not re-signing here. So you guys should figure out a way, get something back for me. Because that's usually if there's a player and he's leaving on good terms with the team. Typically it's how it goes, and they send him somewhere he wants to go. I think if they were going to send him off, it should be that way. He shouldn't have to pick up his phone and see he's traded.
Which is the way guys find out.
Yeah,
right?
that's the way they've been finding out.
Everything's better now, right? Is that a better way to find out you got traded than getting called into the office? I mean, don't you want to hear it man-to-man, face-to-face?
Yeah, I don't want to be on an interview at a Fanatics Fest con.
And go, oh, damn, I'm a Houston Rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that. Hey, look at that. What else?
Yeah, tell me some
more.
more.
They just cut me off, and they canceled my food order, and I'm not getting fed today. Oh, and you canceled my plane and my gym membership? What the hell? You can't even get into the damn gym.
Yeah, lay it on me while you guys can. But
All right, we got a lot today. I just found that, look, the Porzingis trade to Atlanta was, I don't know, not a huge surprise, although a surprise. When the Celtics traded Drew Holiday to Portland, and evidently he's not very happy about that. Yeah. That's surprising. So the Celtics somewhat tearing it down, and then there's rumblings that they're taking phone calls about Jaylen Brown and Derek White. Like, are they ripping that? They were the champions a year ago. They were in the finals 2 years ago. They were the number 2 seed this year. Jason Tatum gets hurt. Now they're going to rip the whole thing apart?
And here's the thing, though. Now, with Boston, you look at them, and it's not like we're looking at the Knicks, obviously for multiple reasons.
I don't ever look at the Knicks.
Yeah. for obvious reasons, right? But Boston, kind of what we were saying with Indiana, but it's more extreme with Boston. Oh, we were saying this with OKC. Even when Boston, when they lost Paul Pierce and KG and on that little era, moved on, they never were a bad basketball team. It seems like that front office, Boston, they always kind of figure things out, and it seems like they make good decisions, at least in hindsight. So it does, I do wonder, like, what's their master plan? They've got to have some type of plan. I don't think they're doing, again, a reference to the Knicks. They're not pulling the Knicks where it's like, okay, action now, think later, when it comes to, like, firing your coach and then trying to figure out who's going to replace him.
What's the plan then?
I think obviously it's preparing for Tatum's return, but I don't know what type of team they're trying to bring him back to.
When did Pierce and KG leave? About what time?
I would have to say maybe 2012, 2011.
All right, so then they went 41 and 40, 25 and 57 is pretty crappy.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But what year
40
was
and 40, 13, 14.
Okay, yeah.
40 and 42 the next year, 48 and 34. I mean, they went 36 and 36 in 2020, 2021, but that COVID year.
It was Brad Stevens. I think Brad Stevens, he kind of kept it. I mean, he was one of the – that was a great hire.
All right. 505-246-0610 if you want to get into it. Let me give you phone numbers. 505-246-0610. Your emails will come in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. And on the Facebook, the OD and the AM. Adrian's up this morning producing on your visuals. If you want to watch the show, we're on Comcast Channel 26 or Xfinity Channel 26. On our Facebook page, the OD and the AM, and Adrian's got us up on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks as well. Art, get us started this morning. How you living? You're on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Art.
I'm living well. Good morning, Jeff. Sorry. Quick question. There's been all the rumblings about the media deal with Pac-12 and the Mountain West, this and that. I want your expanded opinion on as far as, do you think Gloria is going to protect the Mountain West? As far as media, I can't see how the so-called new Pac-12 is going to get that much money for teams or not. It doesn't do anything for me with the Pac-12. But I hope Gloria makes these guys pay every stinking darn poaching fee. Because Pac-12 has really screwed the Mountain West. I think the Mountain West, I hope Gloria doesn't let them get off scot-free, mediation or not. You know what I mean?
I
do.
Can you
expand on that further?
Yeah. And Art, thank you. There's a couple of things in there. Is Gloria going to protect the Mountain West? She's doing everything. Gloria Navarez, the commissioner of the Mountain West, doing everything she can to protect the Mountain West. I wonder, as you sit in the room, who do you trust? Who don't you trust? This mediation is in its 6th week with the Pac-12. There's the exit fees. There's the poaching fees. There's the lawsuit. There's the media rights deals. There's realignment. There's a lot to deal with. I don't know where they are. So Art, I've talked to now a number of athletic directors. I don't have an exact number. I've said, are you guys in there? I got to believe there's a number. There's a floor, right? I think the number that straight up on the contracts that the Pac-12 would owe the Mountain West somewhere in the area of $155 million. That's the money that is going to go to UNLV and Air Force to keep them as well as dispersed to the rest of the membership of the Mountain West. Pac-12 is saying it's unlawful even though they all signed it and they're fighting. I got to believe the Mountain West feels that they're in good legal standing, and maybe there's a floor, whether it's 120 million, 150, whatever the number is, and I don't know it. But I got to believe that's why this has been going on so long. As far as media rights, CBS got a deal with the Pac-12 that was announced this week that is very, very similar to the deal that the Mountain West has had for the last bunch of years. The Mountain West will have a media rights deal. Fox will be involved. I got to believe CBS will be involved. There'll be streaming involved, and streaming is now part of the deal. There's going to be games. Yep, you're going to have to buy a Paramount subscription if you want to watch a game here and there. The Pac-12's got the same thing. Will the Pac-12 get more in media rights than the Mountain West? I believe they will. Will they get what they thought they were going to get, somewhere in the area of $15 to $18 million a year per team? I do not believe that. I'm hearing it's closer to $8 to $10 million. But I think Gloria's doing everything she can to protect the league. Media days are in about 3 weeks, and she'll speak then. But I think they want to get this thing done, make sure that UNLV is not going anywhere, which I don't think so. I think UNLV thinks they're going to be the Big 12 by 2030, maybe by 2028. I really believe they do think that. And that's their incentive. There's two incentives for them to stay in the Mountain West. The big chunk of money that's coming their way, and there's no exit fee if they go to the Big 12. And if the Big 12 expands, gets into Vegas, and I think there's a scenario where UNLV might take the SMU route, where say we'll come in for a couple of years without any rights fees, and then make their way up into a full member. But yeah, Art, she's doing everything she can to protect the league, and that's why, and I'm okay with that from a Mountain West perspective, that they didn't settle this thing early, that they're still in week 6 of mediation. That what that tells me is the Mountain West isn't giving in. But we'll see, because there's a big deadline coming up next week for the Pac-12 to announce their 8th football playing member, which I firmly believe will be Texas State. That's what all the reports are, because whomever it is has to give a 1-year notice to their current league that they're leaving for the following year, before the exit fees goes up. So
sounds like Mountain West has got some Jeff Simbietas in office there running the thing.
What do you mean?
Not backing down, getting the thing done, holding strong.
I don't know about that, but I mean, I think they've just, they're in survival mode in a lot of respects. They just are, and they think they're right. They think legally they're in the right position, and they got to figure out how to move on. All right, if you ever stay there, I got to take this first break. 505-246-0610. That's how to get here today. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. A little rain, you're going to get some weeds, you're going to need a yard clean up, everything's growing. Maybe you just want a brand new design for your backyard or even your front yard. Landscaping, one of my blind spots. I'm just not real good at landscape, yard work, maintenance. LaBarge Landscape is. Hence, I have partnered with LaBarge Landscape. They are taking care of my yard. LaBarge Landscape is locally owned, family owned, 80-plus years of experience, and they are terrific. Whether it's professional landscape construction and maintenance, you're looking for some synthetic turf or pavers or concrete, fencing, fire pit, cleanup and maintenance, whatever it happens to be, rehash or redo of your irrigation system, which is certainly something I am looking at as well. You can trust LaBarge Landscape. They're licensed, they're bonded, they're insured. That means you will not have to worry about anything. Sometimes you've hired somebody, got that little baggie that was thrown in your garage, you called them, you paid them, they didn't get the job done, never saw them again. You don't ever have to worry about that. With LaBarge, when they say they're going to do something, it will get done. They take pride in their work, every single job. They treat your home, your property, as if it's their own. They respect your property. They clean up after themselves. They pay attention to detail. They are proud of what they do, and you will be proud that you partnered up with LaBarge Landscape. Give them a call. Whether your project is large or small, they are your spot. Book a free estimate, an appointment today. Avoid the rush. Go online. LaBarge Landscape, L-A-B-A-R-G-E. LaBargeLandscape.com is the website. Phone them at 505-345-3000, 505-345-3000. You're going to be really, really glad you called LaBarge.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore, just like riding a bicycle. I can pick up the fight from. Aaron Rodgers spoke. New Mexico State's got an opening for their athletic director job, although it may be the same. Amber Burge may keep the job. NCAA tournament may expand. We got a lot to do today. 505-246-0610. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, Isaiah Johnson. Good morning, Miguel. You're on the Sports Animal. How you living?
Hey, real good, guys. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. You've already talking about two subjects that I'm interested in, conference realignment and the NBA. I'm a New Mexico State Aggie, and I did read the other day that they're doing a national search, and Amber may get that job. But I tell you, man, I'd almost give my right arm if New Mexico State, they don't have anybody negotiating for them right now. They never have enough money, but they could find their way into the Mountain West with UNM and UTEP. That'd be a really great conference.
How do you feel about where you want that to go? Do you want Amber to keep that job, or are you looking to go completely outside? I mean, you went outside, you got a new president, he promoted Amber. Obviously, the first move he made, right? He found the bathroom, and then he fired his athletic director, and so,
yeah.
I mean, literally what he did.
I know.
You like what she's doing?
I think you do a disjustice. Like I think Amber's doing a good job, but I think you have to go out and see what's available, and you got to talk to people, and the president needs to sit down and have discussions with all candidates about what he wants to see from the athletic program, how it's what the future looks like, and each candidate explain what they can do and how they can do it. I graduated from New Mexico State in 1994, so I've been a long time supporter of athletics down there, but it's the same old story. They just never have enough money to buy into a conference.
Well,
and nothing wrong with Conference USA. It's much better than the WAC. Where they were, and this time next year, I don't even think there will be a WAC.
I agree.
So, I just hope that if Amber gets it, I've seen enough. Like, I trust her. Like, I think she'll do a good job, but I think you have to open it up to the national search.
Miguel,
get the best kind of candidate.
I don't know how they can do this. The key is money. If they, right. I firmly believe now, maybe the ship has sailed. They have had an opportunity that if they said we are going to get to this level of investment, and it's probably close to the $50 million annual for athletics, and they're just not there, and I'm not sure where you're supposed to get that money down there. They would have found a way. I do believe in the Mountain West, but you can't make promises that you can't keep, and
right.
Where you're going to get that funding, and is it up to the state to help, and you've got a limited base as far as businesses and whatever it is down there. That to me is the issue. I think competitively what they're doing is good. I thought Mario did a lot of good things there. Amber's done some, kept it on the tracks. I just, they've opted into revenue sharing. You hit it on the head. The issue there for them is money, and where's it supposed to come from?
Right, and that's always been the case. And you said it well, Jeff. Real quick on the NBA. I'm not a Nugget fan, but if I was and they traded Jokic, I'd probably lose my mind. But it might be an interesting offseason. I mean, Giannis wants out of Milwaukee. There's talk that he wants out of Milwaukee. I don't know if he really does or not. If Jokic was traded, I mean, that's a huge offseason. I still find it funny. I don't care for the Knicks. I'm not a Knick hater, but I never root for the Knicks. I think it's funny as they're going into today's draft, they don't even have a coach. Mm-hmm. I think people aren't. I wonder how many people are saying no to that job, like they don't want that job because, and I imagine there's teams that are not allowing their coaches to interview for that job. I get that too, but when they fired their coach, I think they just thought they'd hire somebody real easily, and they're not finding that. So I never think it's good if you're going to have the night of the draft, you're going to go in the draft and you don't have a coach in place to have some input. That's a little shaky, but. Phoenix has that number 10 pick, woohoo, and Dylan Brooks. Maybe they can trade that for something. If they keep it number 10, I'm happy with that because we don't have too many first-round draft picks. But if there is talk here that they might put that together with Dylan Brooks and trade, and you never know what that would come in return. But
are you looking? Be a
fun night. I'm a basketball junkie always.
What do you want to do with that draft? What do you want to do with that? Are you trying to get up in the top 3? What are you trying to do? Like, what would you want to see with Dylan Brooks in number 10?
Well, maybe a big man, a really good big man. We don't have a presence right now in the middle. We got a lot of good guards, and but if we could get in the top five, I'd like that. Yeah, if we could do that. I just don't know if that's possible or not.
All right, man. Enjoy the draft.
Okay.
See you.
Thanks.
It's interesting what's going to happen in New Mexico State, and Amber Burge was with us a couple weeks ago discussing New Mexico State opting in for revenue sharing after the House settlement came down. I spent a little bit of time with her. I'm not going to claim I know Amber well, but I it feels like she's got a pretty good grip on what's going on down there. It's a tough job, man. That is a tough job because funding is, they're in a league with teams from all over the country. Now, I guess you would tell me everybody is. I mean, the Mountain West is somewhat regional. I guess the PAC and the Mountain West are somewhat the most regional geographical conferences anymore, right? Everybody's all over the place.
Yeah.
But Northern Illinois is in the Mountain West for football, so I mean, how regional is that? But
yeah, that's what really threw me off.
Well, it's football only, but
okay.
And Northern Illinois, that's a fine addition. I mean, it doesn't blow your socks off, but they'll be fine.
Okay.
The Aggies are in the league with teams in Miami and in Delaware and in Virginia and all Georgia, all over the place. They're the furthest west outpost, certainly, in Conference USA. Would they geographically align, and I believe competitively align with the Mountain West? Yeah, I think they could. But I know that the Mountain West went to New Mexico State last calendar year.
Okay.
And spoke to them about realignment. And there was a threshold, a minimum investment, athletic budget. And New Mexico State basically said, I don't know that we can get there. That was Mario at that time. And they passed. Mountain West passed. And that was, UTEP came in. And I don't blame New Mexico State in some regards for saying, hey, we just can't get there. But there's part of me that says, but that was such a critical point, you've got to figure out a way to get there. And it's easy to sit here and say you got to figure out a way to get there, but I mean, we're talking about millions and millions and millions of dollars. And how are they supposed to generate that in that market where there really is no business base, right? I mean, you look at why is New Mexico always been resource-wise ahead of New Mexico State? Partially because, historically, if they got more money, New Mexico than New Mexico State from the state and from legislature, yes, but also there's a million people in this metro, and there's 90,000 down there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty simple.
And so I'm also kind of a rookie to how games are created, and I know you know a lot about how scheduling goes and things like that. So when state, with them being in a different conference than UNM, so when it comes time and they decide to every year, of course, and they plan this or they schedule this UNM versus state game, is that just something that they do because they know that it's a big deal here in Albuquerque? But so
we're talking football or basketball.
Is it the same answer for both, or is it different?
Well, okay. So you're asking why do they schedule that game?
So I feel like I know why, because it's a big. I feel like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
But is there, when they do schedule that game, is it? So basically, do they maybe feel like there's no point in having to try to stress getting in the getting in the Mountain West if they can just play UNM? I mean, if you get that UNM game, then you go and play your conference.
Right. If you would, right. If you, in fact, could schedule your rival, you have an extra, in football, you'd have an extra game. In basketball, you'd have an extra game. Like when the Aggies were, they've always annually scheduled home and homes with New Mexico and UTEP. That's 4 of their non-conference basketball games. When they joined Conference USA, the UTEP games were conference games that opened up 2 non-conference games for them, right? And it was great. I just don't know that that's first of all, none of the schools have enough control that they say we want you in our league or not. Okay. Like I know you weren't here. There was a big talk, and a lot of people here were claiming that New Mexico was keeping New Mexico State out of the Mountain West in this latest run of realignment. And I found it so rich that as desperate as the Mountain West was at that point, and in fact, David Williams was the interim athletic director, that the insinuation was that, the rest of the league, Air Force, UNLV, Wyoming, whomever, wanted New Mexico State to be in the Mountain West, but this interim athletic director at New Mexico pounded his fist and says, hell no, we don't want him in. But that's what a lot of Aggie fans believe, that New Mexico was keeping New Mexico State out of the Mountain West, which I've talked to enough people and enough athletic directors who were in that room, and I know that's not true. But
yeah, that would be maybe it's just something that adds some fuel to their fire, adds to the rivalry.
And look, now was there a time, decade and a half, 2 decades ago, where New Mexico did want to keep New Mexico State out of their league? I do believe that. Yeah, I do believe that was part of the past.
What do you think changed? And why they?
Well, administrations changed.
Okay.
Circumstances changed. I mean, everything changed.
Yeah.
What's changed in college athletics in the last 2 decades? Well, everything. Las Cruces, the metro area has 217,000, and the city itself has 114,000. And you're talking about Albuquerque with a metro area of about 1 million people. I mean, so you're just dealing. Where's the money coming from? Right. Mm-hmm. A lot of people down there are retired. Is there a deep connection to the university where it's not a high income area where you could just go to everybody and everybody wants to see. It's a tough one, man.
Well, Siakam's pushing $42 million this year in salary. You think he can help out?
I mean, if he can, that'd be wonderful. Yeah, that'd be wonderful. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report sponsored by Calvary Christian Academy.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
during Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Do you know who Chase Burns is, Zay?
That sounds very, very familiar.
All right, I'll give you a quiz. Chase Burns is the 3-star quarterback that the Lobos just got a commitment from in football this weekend.
Okay.
B, the top amateur, or the top amateur in last week's U.S. Open finisher. The starting pitcher last night for the Cincinnati Reds, or the power forward from Vanderbilt who's expected to go in the top 10 in the draft.
Oh.
Chase, which one is Chase Burns? I just gave you a pretty good odds.
Yeah, I'm going to go Lobo quarterback.
All right. That would be incorrect. But that's one of my favorite little games here. Guys that we haven't heard of, but you know, do you like my options?
I like that. All
right. What would be your second pick?
My second pick is going to be the golfer.
All right, that's incorrect. All right, so what would be your third pick?
I'm an awful test taker, so I'm going to go with, remind me the third option.
Starting pitcher for the Reds last night, or the power forward from Vanderbilt who's expected to go in the top 10?
I'm going to lean in for Vanderbilt, top 10 in the draft.
All right, so you struck out all 3 times. He's the guy that you least expected him to be. You like my little game? Hang out with me more. We'll play more.
I got to get better at it.
Chase Burns made his major league debut last night. Chase Burns was one of the top picks in the draft last year. Baseball player, right-handed pitcher, 6'3", 210 pounds. He's Italian. He became the first starting pitcher in the expansion era. That goes back to the 60s or something. To retire the first 5 batters he faced in his big league debut via strikeout.
Wow.
He didn't carry it through the rest of the game, but 22 years old, he made his big league debut last night. The Reds right-hander, who, by the way, was the 2nd overall pick in last year's amateur draft. Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Number 2, that's where Alex Bregman was, the 2nd overall pick. He was up against the Yankees. He allowed 3 runs over 5 innings. Reds won 5-4 in 11 innings. He didn't get the decision. But Burns struck out the first 5 batters that he faced in his big league career. Jazz Chisholm finally got a single. Overall, he gave up 6 hits, struck out 8. He's the 7th Red starter to have at least that many strikeouts, 8, in his first career start. According to Elias Sports Bureau, who knows everything, whoever Elias is, Chase Burns joins Al Leiter of the Yankees and Wade Davis of Tampa Bay as the only pitcher since 1961 whose first 6 outs in their debut were via the strikeout.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. He's 22 years old, too. And also, when people get picked early like that, right, and you get, what do you expect? They got picked. There's something about, of course, there's pros and cons to everything. I feel like when you're a high promise player like that, there's something extra special about living up to the hype.
Yeah. Yeah. When you finally get there, hell yes.
Yeah, when you show the people who chose you, yes, you guys, what you saw is what you saw. I am the real deal. And I'm sure that's what the emotion he was going through. Chase Burns, that's it. For him to be Italian, I've never met an Italian with the last name Burns.
Look, man,
I
it's
don't
a
know why.
global world, man. And, you don't have to be named Linguini to be Italian anymore. Yo, Martelli, Tony Martelli, right? I mean, I'm just telling you.
Berniano or something, at least on Iana.
He was born. Now I don't know if he is Italian. He was born in Napoli, Italy. Now I guess I don't know his background, and maybe his family was there out of military. I don't know. He's born in Italy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Does that make you Italian if you're born in Italy?
I was just about to ask. I think that differs per country, huh? I guess if you're just
and by administration as well, I imagine. But so like if you're born here, you're an American citizen, right? I mean, at least it used to be. If you're born in, I think it still is. If you're born in Italy,
you're Italian.
But are you? But you're American. Like if both of your parents are American, like if you're over there and your parents are, I don't know.
Yeah. It's actually so. I know someone who kind of had that situation. So both of her dad's parents were full on Italian, but he was born in New York, so he's.
No, I mean everybody in New York's Italian anyway.
Yeah,
so
right.
Yeah,
It's a
back in the day,
crossover.
maybe not anymore. After the mayoral election last night, I learned a whole lot of stuff. For crying out loud.
Yeah, but I guess he's American, but like for me, I was always like, but he's Italian.
Yeah.
You know.
Meanwhile, he was the fourth choice in your multiple choice list. A pretty good list I came with, though, huh?
Yeah, it was real
What's the
good.
first one you bid on? You bid on the local quarterback thing. You went A, B, D, C.
I was like, okay, maybe he's. I was like, there's no way it's A, B, and then C is correct. I was like, I'm gonna go D. That's why I was an awful test taker.
Yeah. No, that's one of my favorite things, putting those lists together.
Yeah, that was good. I liked it. And congrats to Chase Burns, though. That's cool.
Congrats to Chase.
I know he's listening. I know Chase. You know you're listening.
I mean,
Congrats to you, brother.
he's sitting in Cincinnati and he's going, come on, man. Of course I'm Italian. What are you talking about? I just had the best lasagna last night. My mama made it, man. There was a celebration meal after I had my major league debut.
I know you've been to Italy before.
I've never been to Italy.
Wow.
No.
You got to go.
I know. I know my kid's been to Italy. I've never been there. She's 19. I've never been there.
You'll go. You'll go soon.
Yeah. No, I will. Meanwhile, Pirates outfielder O'Neill Cruz lost track of outs. He didn't run out a double play ground ball. Then he was removed to the game. The Pirates were down. I watched two dudes do this yesterday. One guy was a center fielder, made a catch and kind of nonchalanted it, and the guy from second base tagged up and scored from second on a fly to center because the guy in center field. I was listening to the Rockies game last night. Drew Goodman, who's a great broadcaster, he lost track of the outs. And then O'Neill Cruz lost track and he got removed as well. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's the dog days.
You know, yeah, athletes are always wondering why do coaches care so much about grades and little things like that. You know, intelligence matters.
Well, just paying attention. All right, I know I'm late on this break. 505-246-06. I want to hear from you. We're going to go all over the place today. When we get back, what Aaron Rodgers had to say yesterday. And what the hell are the Steelers getting into? Where are you going for lunch today? I got an idea for you. Twin Peaks. They got you covered. That and happy hour, by the way. They've got a scratch kitchen. They got a terrific menu, hearty sandwiches and crisp salads and savory soups. Their lunch specials start at just $7.99. If you're looking for somewhere after work, happy hour, handcrafted cocktails over at Twin Peaks. They got top shelf spirits, the coldest 29-degree draft beers of the game. So whether it is lunch, happy hour, on the clock, well, not on the clock. Don't do it on the clock. Well, you can have lunch if you're kind of on the clock, I guess. But there's always something cooking at Twin Peaks. Great food, great drinks, even better views. And then late night, Twin Peaks has you covered. 10 o'clock to close, Sunday through Thursday. Hand-stretched flatbreads, and they're only $8. Baked fresh, loaded with flavor. They are perfect for those late-night yummies. Pair that with something from their rare bourbon collection. They got hard-to-find bourbons. Barrel selects, hand-picked by our team, and you know I love me some bourbons. Top-shelf tequilas worth sipping. I know you love you some tequilas. Whether you're winding down the night, just getting yourself started, there is no better place than Twin Peaks. Kick back, stay late, and taste the difference at Twin Peaks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are one Eastern.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 60.
9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
All right, we'll get into the Aaron Rodgers stuff coming up at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, top of the hour. I don't want to just to take. Whoa! Look at that.
Uh-oh. Getting attacked in there. I got you off. Wow.
Yeah, no, I got it. I mean, I can hold the microphone for a minute.
That's
Thing,
right.
just came screaming at me. Isotopes are in first place, dude. Huh?
Wow.
How about that? After the rough season they've been having, after, I mean, being the Rockies AAA team.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm also adjusting to the minor league baseball is like you can have, it's like if your team's good, right, but the major league team is not good, it almost makes you nervous because now you're having to worry about them taking all your good players.
That's just reality. But your team's not good. But the second half started yesterday, and they clear the slate. So your Albuquerque Isotopes.
Oh, so that's why they're in first place.
That's right. They're 1-0, dude.
Now I get it.
They are 1 win and no losses after their big win yesterday in Las Vegas over the Aviators. And Gus let me know about it. Albuquerque's baseball team 11, Las Vegas 51-6. Jeff, no surprise after hoisting the championship banner at Cashman Field. The distracted home club has lost 3 straight. Okay. Tell us how long before we hear Josh Sushan say, well, if the tournament started today, Isotopes would be in the playoffs. Probably quite some time. I'm going to guess he's not going to say it, but I will.
I mean, that is one of his famous lines.
Does he say that a lot?
Yeah, that is. You know, it's funny you say that because the first year of me doing the Isotopes, he 100% pulled that line out.
Which line? Like,
if the playoffs started today, the Isotopes would be in first place.
All right. Well, use it when you can because there's not a lot of time you can use it.
Yeah.
With all due respect to the power that is the Albuquerque Isotopes Baseball Club. By the way, next Wednesday, they're trying to pack that place. And if you can make your plans to, I don't know, play hooky, take lunch out at the ballpark, ESPN's Sports Center will be in Albuquerque. They're doing 50 states in 50 days, and New Mexico is next Wednesday, and they're going to do it live at Isotopes Park. And I know they're trying to get a good crowd out there. Typically, a Wednesday in July on a day game is not your sold-out crowd, so it's not the ideal day. But I know they're trying to put on a hell of a show. They've got discounted tickets. Like, did I block that day? Like, what are you doing next Wednesday for lunch, dude?
I'm going to be at the Isotopes Park. I'm not going to miss out on seeing Sports Center. I heard I might see the boys out there, possibly, maybe so.
Wow. Well, they're out there. I mean, so the
the boys as in you and
yeah, the opening drive will be out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're doing the show live out there next Wednesday morning.
Might have to do a little crossover segment there, so you can slip in there.
Yeah, I got a 2:30 sales call, and I got a noon college sports. I'm gonna have to work on this. I mean, I got a schedule, dude.
Yeah, you're very, very, very busy.
I got a schedule.
When's the last time you were able to look at the future week and be like, I don't have anything that I got to go do outside of?
I have no idea. Like literally no idea.
14, 15?
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, it's good, right? I created
That's a great thing.
I don't complain about that. All right, Aaron Rodgers. 1 year left. Aaron Rodgers is the power forward from – oh, wait, we already played that game. Isaiah Johnson's in for JJ this week. I am merely Jeff Sabieta. The number to get in is 505-246-0610. You have found us, the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Boswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Would be quite celebrated.
Yeah, just context and everything involved. I mean, just the season the Mavericks have had. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very happy for them. Also, a lot of Mavericks fans are my fellow Cowboy fans as well. So, like, by default, I have to look out for them. But I am happy that, you know, they're getting some. I'm not gonna dare say a Luka replacement, but they are getting.
I'll dare say that. I will dare say that this could be the Luka replacement. I will absolutely dare say that. Now, I won't say will, but I will say could.
Okay.
Look, this is. He certainly comes into the league with more fanfare than Luka, right? Absolutely.
So by fanfare,
just more expectations coming in.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic or Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag's coming into the league with Victor Wembanyama, LeBron James kind of fanfare. Yes,
it's up.
Yes.
It's up there.
And I'll tell you why. why it's up there. If you don't believe he's going to be as good as them, I can absolutely hear that. But because you didn't see Victor Wembanyama ever play, you saw the YouTube highlights of this freaky guy in France, like, whoa. And LeBron James played in high school. You watched Cooper Flagg for a year at Duke and become the Naismith winner, the college basketball player of the year, and be that good at 17, 18 years old. Oh, absolutely.
Would you compare it to maybe Anthony Davis coming out of college?
I'll listen to that. Yeah.
All of them. I can see that for sure. And then also, I mean, if you also throw in the expectation as far as just again, back to the Luka thing, they just lost their main guy who they thought their main guy was going to be. And then now you come in, but also on the plus side, and Kyrie just re-signed a deal.
So Kyrie opted out for his $42.9 million option, which wouldn't you love to one day say, yeah, no, I'm good. You don't have to give me the $43 million. Wouldn't you like to be able to walk away? And instead they're going to give him $119 million over 3 years. So he could come back for 1 year for $42.9. Instead he took 3 years at $119, which God bless him. Right?
Yeah, they're building some over there in Dallas.
Well, they got super, super lucky, and if you want to say it's rigged, whatever, that's your thing. But now they get to take advantage of it, and they got super lucky in a year where there seems to be a generational player at the top of the draft. There isn't one every year. Who was the number one pick in last year's draft? Do you recall?
It was that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
the guy that plays power forward for Vanderbilt or was the three-star recruit for the Lobos. Who was? I don't even know who it was.
It was the guy who went to, I think Atlanta got him. He was the center. He's definitely, I think the first and second are both from France, but they're both French.
Oh, yeah. And then 2 years ago was Paulo Banchero? Or 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Right?
No Cooper Flags.
This feels a little different, doesn't it?
Yes, 100%.
And Dallas getting him, so could he be the replacement for Luka? Yeah, I think he absolutely can be a cornerstone of that franchise for a decade plus.
He plays defense for sure.
And he can score. And by the way, he's 18 years old. He hasn't touched his ceiling yet.
Yeah.
He's going to become better, bigger, stronger. So hence it's Flag Day. All right. Promised you some Aaron Rodgers stuff. So Aaron Rodgers is now the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. 1 year deal was $13 million. Rodgers played fine last year. The year prior, he blew out his Achilles. And so that his 2 years with the Jets was just a disaster. It was a disaster. It was they're just a disaster. So now he's a Steeler. This was you got the sound?
Yes, sir.
This was Rodgers. This courtesy of ESPN and the Pat McAfee show. Rodgers yesterday addressing his future, both immediate and then beyond this year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. That's why we just did a 1 year deal. Steelers didn't need to put any extra years on that or anything. So this was really about finishing with a lot of love and fun and peace. For the career that I've had. I played 20 freaking years. It's been a long run, and I've enjoyed it. And what better place to finish than in one of the cornerstone franchises of the NFL with Mike Tomlin and a great group of leadership and great guys in the city that expects you to win.
All right, cool for him.
Fair enough.
Steeler fan, how you feel? So Bill Belichick, who is considered to be the best coach in the history of the game by many, once said, if you talk about retirement, you're retired. Once you talk about retirement, you're retired. Now, you can believe that or not. I don't care. I don't base my opinions on what one person said. Harry Met Sally told me that men and women can't just be friends, and I think all of us have friends or many of us have friends of the opposite gender.
Glad you said many there.
Who we haven't gotten with. Not everybody, I guess, but right?
Yeah.
But that just came up in a recent conversation, and somebody made a decision. Well, remember that movie? And okay, Bill Belichick said you can't. Once you talk about retirement, you're retired. Did the Steelers just sign a retired quarterback for $13 million? This is Mike Tomlin's dude. Okay, Mike Tomlin went all in on this. Once they swung and missed on Justin Fields, and they did try to get Justin Fields, who, by the way, replaced Rodgers with the Jets after the Jets said, yeah, cool, we don't want you anymore. We're going to take that dude. Oh, by the way, they play each other on opening day.
Nice.
So the Jets said, yeah, no, we're done with the old dude. We're going to take that guy from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh said, no, we want to keep our guy. Oh, bleep, we lost him. What are we going to do? All right, let's take the old dude that they just cut. I guess they probably didn't have a lot of places to go, although they did.
Yeah, they went through a whole draft.
They went through a whole damn draft. Now, you can play the Shedeur Sanders game, and we'll find out as time goes on whether or not they should have taken it. You can go through the Kirk Cousins thing. Should they have gone there? He's another old dude coming off an injury.
Mm-hmm.
But what did they just sign up for? Again, there's people who tell me their roster is so great and they just needed a Rodgers to get him over the top. You're not getting Aaron Rodgers MVP. You're getting Aaron Rodgers AARP.
Yeah, well, what I think the Steelers, with their game plan, I mean, it has to be, is this has got to be, it's going to sound cliche to say you got to play the game of X's and O's, but you got a lot of experience over there. So it's going to have to be the brain power of Mike Tomlin, Aaron Rodgers, dissecting a team, figuring out how they want to approach it. Mike Tomlin, I mean, we've seen that no matter who's on his team, he's going to get to 500. Now, I think for Aaron Rodgers, after the season he just had, if he goes out in his last season and wins 9-10 games, that's a success. Okay, so it'd be hard to fall under that. So hopefully they at least just get to that point. But I do think, I find it hard to imagine that, prepping for a team that Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin week in and week out wouldn't be able to put together a game plan, at least to find a way to attack teams. But outside of that, I think it's going to be an interesting matchup.
I'll give you all the brain power you want. and I think that's wonderful. And does Mike Tomlin have brain power? Is he a good coach? Everybody except for Steeler fan thinks Mike Tomlin's a really good coach. Right? No, it's the truth. Everybody except for Steeler fan thinks Mike Tomlin's a good coach. They're sick of him, and I get it. You can give me all the Aaron Rodgers brain power you want. My quarterback better have physical power.
Yeah, have arm power, right?
Right. My quarterback better be physically able to play. I have no doubt of Aaron Rodgers able to stand at the line of scrimmage and read a defense and know where the blitz is coming and call the right protection. I got no doubt of that. My question is, at 41 off of the Achilles, is he able to execute physically in the most demanding position in sports?
I would hope, and obviously, naturally, you get a year after the Achilles, it gets better. But he is older, and he is at the age of 41. So I do expect to see a better version of Rodgers than I saw last year. But in some of the games I watched, I mean, there's still some throws where I was like, that's a Rodgers throw. Like, guys would drop it, receivers would mess up.
And then there was, whoa, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
A lot more than there were. All right, so where do you see them? You think they're going to win 9 games? Okay, 10 games. I don't know that I think they make the playoffs, okay? And there's 7 spots in the AFC. I believe Buffalo wins the East. I just think they're the best team in the East. I believe Baltimore is still the best team in the North. They win. Somebody wins the South, whether it's Houston or hell, Jacksonville might. Somebody wins the South. And
wouldn't that be something?
What?
If Jacksonville was to pull that out.
Well, I mean, it's about time that Trevor Lawrence needs to get it done.
Yeah.
And then the West, whether you like Denver, Kansas City, whoever you like, right? So there's 3 wild card spots. Let's just say, and I know the caller that was on hold was going to tell me that the Broncos are going to win the West. Okay, cool. But let's say Kansas City wins the West because they do every year.
Yeah. Good safe bet.
But you got to believe the Chargers and the Broncos are battling for a wild card.
Yes.
I got to believe Miami and maybe New England are battling for a wild card. I got to believe Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and somebody else in the South, whether it's Tennessee or Jacksonville. So if the Steelers are the 7th seed again and go out in the first round, are we like what are we doing? That's what they've been for the last decade. Now, maybe you just bought yourself a gap year so you don't suck. But so now you're in the middle of the draft and you're not getting that quarterback you want next year.
Yeah.
How is there not a succession plan? They get the kid out of Ohio State in the 6th round, and you want me to believe that's the succession plan?
Yeah, maybe. Okay, now this is something that you just reminded me.
What? Will Howard?
Yeah, what if they are like wanting him to, it to be a...
Oh, he's the perfect mentor. Come on now. Haven't we tried this before?
Yeah, I think he's been bad with the young guys behind him. Maybe now, maybe now.
It was perfect with Jordan Love. That worked out great.
Maybe retirement Rodgers is okay with passing the torch.
Yeah, it's fine for him. I got no problem with him. For him, God bless him. He figured it out, and he's making another $13 million, and whatever. He gets to play one more year and do a farewell tour. God bless him. Good for him.
I will say that Jordan Love, he's got that 2 feet off the ground sidearm in his bag, though.
Jordan Love is a pretty bright guy. Sat there and ate it for a couple of years, and once they gave it to him, he's been fine. He's not Aaron Rodgers yet, and I don't know that he ever will be, but he's been fine.
Mm-hmm.
But was there anybody who ever said Rodgers went out of his way to help him?
No.
Was anybody ever said we tried to help Zach Wilson or anybody else that was sitting with the Jets? And again, I'll lean on the Joe Flacco thing on this. It's not my job to be your damn mentor. I'm in the NFL. I'm here to play quarterback, and you're trying to take my job.
He said that.
Well, basically paraphrasing it, yes.
Yeah. For his recent situation, he said that. That's hilarious.
Look, Joe Flacco, and I know I'm absolutely paraphrasing what he said there. Where's he? He's in Cleveland now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's got Shedeur Sanders there, and he's got Dylan Gabriel, and he's got Kenny Pickett, and all that mess down there. And he was asked about being a mentor, and he says, "Look, I'm not going to go out if they can pick up habits of being in the room, and I'll help them. But I still think I can play, and I'm still the guy. Look, man, I get it. Like, I've been around a minute. There's lots of people trying to take my gigs.
Mm-hmm.
And people say, well, it's time for you to go away. No, not really, dude. I still got a lot of game left. Joe Flacco thinks he's got a lot of game left. I totally get it. Just because you're a veteran, your job, do you feel it's his job to be a mentor?
No.
His job is to go do his damn job, right?
Yeah, and also, any type of answer I can give about this situation, it's going to be it's not going to be, super applicable because that's their job, and that's how they take care of their families.
Yes.
Whereas for me, it's like you're playing for fun or for the enjoyment, or even maybe a scholarship. And coaches are like, put the team first.
Oh, look, he'll help, and if you pick up his habits and you ask for something,
yes.
Joe Flacco, Aaron Rodgers, they'll help you through it, and if you through a situation. But is their job to get you ready to take their job?
Yeah, no, they're not going to text you beforehand and say, "Yeah, make sure you do your."
Yeah, so you can take my job and take my food off of my table? No.
Nope.
505-246-06. I love your thoughts on that. But Steeler fan, I know you're there. How do you feel? Did you guys just sign up for a retired quarterback just so he can do a victory lap around the league and collect rocking chairs? Or is it, well, all right, we got a guy and we'll be, or do you think you're winning 12 games this year and win the NFC or the AFC North? I'd love your thoughts on this one. 505-246-0610. Emails come in this morning as they always do. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. And, well, you can hit JJ. He'll get you. He's sitting on the beach, man.
Really?
Yeah, I saw his toes in the sand.
Nice.
Social media. Hey, John Thomas Jewelers is my jeweler. They were my jeweler the second I walked in. I met John. He gave me a tour of the place. I met the staff. I saw their state-of-the-art design center right on premise where they don't have to send anything out to be made. It's done right there. This is as good as there is anywhere in America, and it's right here in Albuquerque on Louisiana, 1 block south of Manal, 3rd floor of the Lewis University building. And right now what they're doing is just incredible. Nobody does the no regrets ring except for John Thomas Jeweler. Here's the deal. If you're getting an engagement ring, right, how do you know what she's going to love? You kind of have an idea, you think, but you don't know. You're a dude, and she's going to... So even you can go design a ring. And as you design a ring, they'll preview it for you. They'll do a 3D printed wax version of it before they make it in precious metals. But you might love it, and she might... And even when she says yes, if she wants a different ring, you can redesign that ring for a full year after you propose. No penalty, not even on custom-made rings. So this no regrets ring has a 1-year exchange policy. Their rings also come with a free lifetime nationwide warranty, and their diamonds are hand-selected by John Thomas Jewelers in Antwerp, Belgium, which is the diamond capital of the world. Nobody does this. John Thomas Jewelers goes above and beyond. They are the best. The no regrets ring is exclusively at John Thomas Jewelers. Go check them out. If it's not a ring you're looking for, maybe it's some earrings, a watch, pendants, necklace, whatever it is, John Thomas Jewelers is the best, and they will take care of you. Visit them on the third floor of the Lewis University building on Louisiana, 1 block south of it all. Go by and see why they've been voted the best jeweler in Albuquerque 4 straight years. Voted one of America's coolest jewelry stores. It's John Thomas Jewelers, where Albuquerque gets engaged.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican.
All right, Steeler fan, what do you got? 505-246-0610. Emails are coming in this morning, Jeff, at sportsanimalabq.com, and that's it. What's your email address?
Isaiah.johnson@cumulus.com.
How do you spell Isaiah?
It's a great question.
Is it?
ISAIAH.
I mean, that's the common spelling, isn't it?
Yeah, I get ISIAH. I get Isaac. I get Israel.
What if you just went with Zay, like Zay at sportsanimalabq.com?
Yeah, I need to get that switch to Zay. BDG.
When you get that's when you know you made it here. Like that's
when they change your
You
email.
just get Zay at sportsanimalabq.com. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what "made it here" means, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think you.
I know. Harold's in on volleyball, dude. Yesterday I saw Coach Tom Paul Glazer, that's not his name, checking out the Lobo Volleyball's new #1 recruiting tool, Jeff. The state-of-the-art duck pond, which still isn't open yet despite declaring coming spring 2025. They must be having trouble deciding on the ideal duck-to-water ratio. But people hate when you upgrade the duck pond, dude. I mean, don't upgrade. Why are we spending money on the duck pond? I don't know. They like the duck pond.
I saw some video the other day.
Yep.
There was a lady, she's by a lake, and this wasn't in Albuquerque, by the way, but a lady had frogs in a bag, and she was just throwing these large adult frogs into the pond, and people in the comments like, oh my God, she's ruining the ecosystem, and I didn't understand, like, what was so bad about it. Is ducks kind of the same thing? Are ducks, like, bad for the environment? Why do people care?
Do like the frogs eat the ducks, or maybe the frogs eat whatever is native to that pond?
I think it's invasive species was the term I was saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's species that, and I wouldn't know particularly that, but there's species that are natural habitat to certain places, and then you introduce other invasive ones that would, if they're predatory, that would disrupt the ecosystem of that particular area. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm pissed off now too.
Yeah, that's right. Ruining our ecosystem here.
The lady with frogs. First of all, the lady with frogs. You had me there. Lady with a big bag of frogs.
Yeah,
she's frogs around,
sitting there just throwing the frogs.
Where'd she get all the damn frogs?
I have no idea.
She just breeds frogs.
Maybe
the frog lady.
Yeah, maybe.
Ribbit.
I've seen weirder things.
Rod's in on my daughter going back to college, Jeff. The best advice Rob can give her is the words from the immortal coach Al McGuire. The best thing about freshmen is they become sophomores. All right. I'll let her know that. Appreciate all the parental advice as well. She's 67 days or something, dude. She's counting, too. She can't. Like she's stoked to be home, but she's like, Dad, I can't wait till Michigan. I wish I was there now. I'm like, babe, if you were there now, nobody's there. It's going to be hot and humid there as opposed to hot and dry. No, I'm not ready to go back now, but I can't wait for Michigan football. I get it.
Yeah, of course.
It's one of the reasons you go there, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's why, not the hard segue, but that's why football is so important. Basketball, too. Like, I guarantee there's some people who chose you, and I'm like, the basketball team, a great season.
Let me tell you something. And I've said this on this program. I had this conversation yesterday with somebody. And this leans into kind of where we're going yesterday with Lobo football. And do you believe Eck is the guy? And I got the email, why is it any different than Danny Gonzalez? And I don't know. The importance of making your football program competitive, I think has been illustrated. And if you don't get it, you're never going to get it, right? If you don't get it at this point, you're never going to get it.
Yeah.
But more so to where you're going, Zay, and you grew up in an area where college football was big. I've been all over the country to college football. I have been blessed that I've made a living for the last 20 years in college athletics. And I see what college football does in a positive way for communities all over America. And it doesn't have to just be in Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana, and Georgia, like in Tennessee, in the South.
Mm-hmm.
It's all over America. And I feel like, in some respects, what Lobo basketball does for this community, but on steroids.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Lobo basketball is akin to it. But it's when football is successful and communities rally around football and those stadiums have that feel, and you've all been to one. I mean, I'm going to a Texas A&M game. I'm going to a USC game. I'm going to the Michigan game. Right? And again, I'm not mad at anyone. This is not me scolding you. Please don't take it that way. I just feel like our community is missing out on something that's really, really cool. That's all.
Yeah, even with how, because the Lobos at one point, I mean, they were, I remember 22-4 or something crazy like that at one point in the season, and I don't know if because of football, it didn't seem like the basketball fans or just the Lobo fans truly understood nationally how good the basketball team was.
Well, they did, and they may have thought they were even better than they were. And you've heard me say this, and I said it yesterday. If you support Lobo football, that does not mean you're cheating on Lobo basketball, right? I think there's been this weird dynamic that I've seen over my time here, where I'm a Lobo basketball fan, but football, whatever, and it's like. If you have not seen the importance of being competitive in football, if you haven't seen the ramifications of that, if you don't understand it by now, you never will, and that's cool. But that's all. The reason I root for football to be good, I root for people, and in doing what I do, both this and then running a bowl game in this market and having the relationships with the people in the athletic department and the coaches and the players. Like, I root for people, and for the most part, it's been really, really good people. And so I like when good things happen to good people. But I root for this community. And I have been around here long enough to remember, if you go back and look at the attendance at Lobo football back in the late 90s, early 2000s, it was really good. I remember when I was at Channel 7, I had a trip planned for a weekend. I was going into Cali, and I had to cancel it because there were almost 40,000 people at University Stadium for the last game of the year. I think they played Rice or Tulsa. I can't recall who it was. In the old WAC, for a chance to go, this is 97, to go to the WAC championship game. They won the game, and we went to Vegas for the WAC the Lobos played the WAC championship game against Colorado State, and we went to the Insight.com Bowl, and it was their first bowl game since the Aviation Bowl in 1960, whatever. And it was just like, wow, man, there's 40,000 people in this place, and people gave a damn, and it was fun.
Yeah.
And do I hold on to people tell me it can never be that again. And I don't know, maybe you're right. I'd like to believe you're not. But that's all. Am I a Lobo fanboy? I don't believe that. I'm a fanboy maybe for this community.
Yeah.
And I see what basketball does, and I see how cool it is, and I just, that's all. I just wish it would be that way, because when I go to places, and I do 3-4 trips a year to go to college football venues, and you feel the atmosphere, and you feel the excitement, and it's not just in the stadium, it's around town, it's in the whole community. That's all. And I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not scolding anybody. I feel like our community is missing out. That's all.
Yeah, and I think the whole, fans will feel like they're cheating on one. You know what I think it is? You see this, honestly, I think it shows the different types of sports fans overall. Because what'll happen is, say there's somebody, take me for example. Say I'm a Cowboys and a Lakers fan, and let's say when the Lakers lost and I was angry, and it's like, you know what? The Lakers, they just upset me. The Cowboys will make me happy. That's where I'm going. Like, the hell with them. They made me upset. They ruined my night, or they wasted my time. They lied to me. They lost. That's how it feels. They feel betrayed by your team. So you're like, you know what? I don't want nothing to do with them. Because in your mind, you're acting as if they're doing it on purpose. Like they're not trying to win as well, as if they don't want to win more than you want them to win. But because you were rooting for them and you put all this effort into them, and then when they don't win, you just want to blame them, put it on them, and just go to what makes you happy.
Yeah, no, I get that. But that sounds like fandom to me.
Yes.
I mean, that sounds like sports fandom. And to me, it's just a couple of different, it's different. And I think maybe that's why Lobo fan is shied away. Kind of what you said, they're tired of just being hurt.
Mm-hmm.
They're tired of hearing every year why football is going to be better, and it hasn't been. And I hope that this community gives Jason Eck and the staff an opportunity, because he's won everywhere he's been. He turned Moscow, Idaho into a winner in a different spot, understood. And they open up at Michigan at home, and they go to the Rose Bowl. 2 of their first 3 games are in 2 of the most iconic venues in the game. Yeah. Give him a chance. But I get it. You've been hurt. You've been disappointed, just like exactly what you're saying. You've been disappointed. It's going to take something to bring you back, and I get that. And again, I one of my biggest things I've told you, I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. You do it your way. But I hope that Lobo fan and Fringe fan will give this coaching staff an opportunity to, kind of like they did Danny, and see what happens. But be a little bit patient and understand, dude. You're starting Michigan and UCLA in 2 your first 3.
Yep.
And you don't play Wyoming this year, who's probably down. You don't play Fresno State, who might be down this year. You don't play, I don't think, Nevada. You get, all the top teams in your league. You're getting Boise State and San Jose State, and it's going to be an interesting year.
You're going to be at that Michigan game, huh?
I will be. Yeah.
So of course you got to be at that one.
Yeah, I made that the reservations a year ago. No, honestly, to get a hotel room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did a year ago. And it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Hour.
This report brought to you by Hotworks. More.
Fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are one Eastern.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
State, they can't lose to another 1AA club or FCS. When they dropped Montana State last year, it killed attendance for the rest of the season. I agree with that in large respect that the home opener will be a big game. That they're going to need to win that to keep, for crowd engagement. Yeah. They're going to have to beat Idaho State in week 2. 34.5. I'm going to guess the spread will be 42.5. That's just me. I wonder if there's a spread out there. I mean, what would? Well, I've asked. Look, it's a lot, dude. It's
college.
Here's reality. I got a New Mexico team who was 5-7 the year before, lost everybody. Brand new coaching staff, completely brand new roster, basically. Mm-hmm. No idea who the quarterback is. Quarterback may be making his first FCS start. Most likely will be. FBS start. I'm sorry. Going to the big house, and they may be starting a freshman quarterback, who, by the way, was like the highest recruit.
Mm-hmm.
It's Michigan. I don't know. Last time Michigan played, they beat Alabama in the ReliaQuest Bowl. And the game before that, they beat Ohio State in the Horseshoe.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Are they any good?
Michigan's definitely a solid football team, and especially now, with the way college football and college sports has gone, I'd be very shocked if they ever weren't. But also, you can't say that because look at Florida State. They fell off.
Well, you can say it. Okay, the line right now is 35.5. 34.5. 34.
Okay. Oh, so maybe he was giving us a fact.
Yeah, he was giving us a fact, actually. The betting trends right now, Vegas Insider, everybody's got it at 34.5.
Also, that is real. The psychology behind losing your first home opener. I mean, if you lose your first home game, the psychology behind that is real. Fans and players.
Well, it depends against whom you're playing also. Look,
yes.
I mean, if you lose to it, and New Mexico lost to an FCS team last year. Now, a good one in Montana State, but that, I mean, nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah, and they were like up 2 touchdowns in the fourth or something like that.
They were 34-17 in the fourth, and they got beat. Yeah, it was a bad day, man. It was you were killing. By the way, the running back for Montana State who ran and scored the winning touchdown is now on your team.
He's a Lobo.
Yeah, he's a Lobo. Yeah, I don't know what 34.5 feels like it's going to swell. It just does.
So when they do these, I guess this is probably an obvious answer, but how much research do they do into these kids and what they did in high school? And like, okay,
yeah, I don't know as far as high school kids, and but they're looking at rosters and trends, and then they'll move the line. They want even money coming in on both sides. So they're gonna the over under is 52.5. So that means they expect, what is it, 45?
They expect like 34.
What's 40?
Oh wait.
Yeah. 40,
yeah, I'm gonna leave this one alone. Let you
45-10, 40, 43-10, something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. That's what they're expecting.
It's actually not okay. Now that when you put the scoreboard out there like that, and you Michigan versus UNM new team, it's not. I can see why they would predict a score more like 42-10.
Yeah, it's kind of what that's. Yeah.
I mean, it puts you in a good position though. You're on the Lobos, whether you're the coach, the players. Number one, they're using that number. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they had 34.5 plastered all over the weight room. You use things like that to motivate you for the first game, and then also it's a win-win.
Go shock the world, man. I mean, it happens every year. Somebody beats somebody that nobody saw coming, and holy smokes, did you see that? And yeah, Addie's like, is there? I'm kind of nervous about it. I said,
they take out Michigan, you give us New Mexico State win. It's successful season.
I mean,
beat Michigan, beat New Mexico State. We're straight.
What if you lose to Idaho State?
Yeah. Then we're going to be like Lobos again. The fans be Lobos again.
I don't care that you beat Michigan and New Mexico State. How the hell did you lose to Ohio or to Idaho State?
Exactly. Yeah. No one would care anymore.
You're probably not all that far off. Michigan plays New Mexico. You know what? Maybe you catch them looking ahead the week after they go to Oklahoma.
They're definitely not going to be expecting a tough game. You can 100% go in there, start out strong.
No, I've already heard people. I was watching something on the Big Ten Network. They were talking about Michigan, and they opened with New Mexico. It's not like last year where they opened with a Mountain West team, but Fresno State was really good and blah blah blah, and they're like peeing all over New Mexico. I'm like, what are we doing? Michigan plays the schedule. Oklahoma, then they get Central Michigan, but Nebraska, Wisconsin, SC, Washington. That's crazy. Addie's already like, I'm going home Friday of Thanksgiving for the Ohio State game. I got it, baby. I understand. 505-246-0610. Emails this morning, jeff@sportsanimalabq.com. Got to get into the NCAA tournament as well. I get it. It's global basketball town, and they're talking about tweaking with the tournament, the best sporting event in our state, in our country. I firmly believe that. We'll get into that. Who's watching your house? Who's watching your business? Make sure it's IPS, International Protective Service. Affordable private security. They are the good guys. You need eyes on your property around the clock? They got you covered. You want to just get alarms installed, camera systems? They'll do that for you. They got a state-of-the-art facility monitoring those cameras 24/7, raising the level of security around your home and your business. Property crime is real. It's on the rise. Officer shortage continues to be an issue. International Protective Service responds to alarms at properties which they monitor within 7 minutes or less. I've been a client of International Protective Service for years. I trust them. They give my family peace of mind. My neighbors use them as well. They keep the bad guys away. You've worked too damn hard to build what you've got. Don't let the bad guys come in and destroy it. Call IPS. Talk to them about what they can do for you. They're great when you're out of town. They'll pick up newspapers and packages and roll garbage cans to the curb and back. All wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things. I love what they do, and I know you will as well. 505-897-2420 is their number. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
In the NBA, 505-246-0610. Chase Burns, who we learned today is the starting pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds, struck out the first 5 batters of his major league career. They were playing the Yankees yesterday. That was pretty good. And Kristaps Porzingis has been traded. What did you think of the Porzingis trade? Boston to Atlanta. The Nets were involved. The Nets have like 1 million picks in today's draft.
You know, I think Porzingis is people will always, like we were saying with Cooper Flagg and the expectation of coming out of college, people will always hold Porzingis to that level. But I think he deserves a little bit more leeway. I know he has had a very injury-riddled career, but I still think the guy can play. I just think he needs to stay on the court. But, you know, the best trait is to have ability.
Well, the best ability is available.
Yeah, and he's not. Thanks for correcting that for me. He hasn't always been available, so that's a downside. But I do think he's a good player. He can still defend block shots. He can still hit a 3 occasionally. I think he's a good player. The Celtics 100% are the cleaning house right now, and
it's dumping salary for sure.
Yeah, as soon as Drew Holiday was traded, people were looking at Porzingis like, all right, he's probably going to be next. You know.
So what do you make of the talk that they're taking calls for Jaylen Brown? I mean, that's then you're blowing it up, right? Look, man, when I've got people saying my phone's ringing about Jaylen Brown, when I got the Nuggets owner saying, well, I mean, we could trade number 15, Jokic, like everybody in the league is calling and saying, what do I got to do to get that dude? Whether it's Jaylen Brown or Nikola Jokic, right?
Yeah, if you are Boston and you are talking about trading Jaylen Brown, you got to think when you're trading a guy that's a two-way player like Brown is, you better get somebody back on defense and you better get somebody that can score points. Because Jaylen Brown, if Tatum decides, you know, even when he gets back, because before the Achilles, Tatum was, you know, he could go score 40, but some games he might score 20, and Jaylen Brown will go out there and score 35, 40 points. You better have somebody else that can go do that.
I think it's just, are you closing your window or not? Because Tatum's injury, are you closing your window in Boston and hoping to reopen it cheaper? Right?
Yeah. But you can get a lot for Jaylen Brown.
Sure you can.
You can get a lot back for him. And he's very, very, very expensive.
Stun me if they do. 505-246-0610. All right, what's next for the NCAA men's basketball tournament and women's tournament for that matter? 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are one Eastern.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf.
Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Draft day in the NBA, flag day, if you will. Cooper Flag will be the number 1 pick overall by the Dallas Mavericks, and then what happens from there could be interesting if that's a good thing. Jeff Symbieta. Isaiah is in for JJ this week. You're welcome to get in today, 505-246-0610. Emails jeff@sportsanimalabq.com. And, of course, Adrian is producing for you. You can always watch the show on our YouTube, well, on their YouTube channel, ProView Networks, on our Facebook page, the OD and the AM, and Xfinity Channel 26. Dude, I got hacked, or somebody cloned my account on Instagram yesterday.
You know, I was in the gym, and I honestly, I sat the weights down and laughed.
Why?
Because I saw. So what? This is honestly.
Did
it's
you
more,
see the one that cloned me?
Yeah, it followed me. No, so it followed me on Instagram. What was so funny about it is, what people usually, it's like teenagers or early 20s, what people will do is they'll have their main account, and then they have another one that they'll make private, and they'll put their same account name but then put spam at the end or something like that. So it's basically
So is that what that is? Is that why it said spam on it, because they make it private?
Well, so this one actually wasn't private, which is why I knew it was a hack most likely. Or I was like, does Jeff know what a spam account is? Like, does he know exactly? Like, I was like, this can't be him. And I'm looking at it, I was like, nah, no way. And then the amount of people that it was following. So yeah, whoever it was definitely got a hold of some type of information of yours, because I got followed. It followed. I saw like 126 other people.
Yeah. Until I shut that. So it's kind of crazy. I got one dude said, dude, did you just hit me on Instagram and asked me for money? And I'm like, what? And then TJ Trout's like, dude, did you just hit me on Instagram? And I'm like, what? And I went and found it. But here's the cool part. So, like, I reported it, right? You go on there and you report. And literally within minutes, they shut it down.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
So, like, within minutes, I got this thing back from Instagram. It says, this account was removed. Here's what else you could do. Thanks for reporting this. Jefferson B had a spam account. We removed it from Instagram because it goes against our community standards on impersonation.
Sounds like you got some pull in the Instagram world too.
Like
I don't know
within minutes.
Yeah, I don't know
it was down.
I don't know if that would happen if I got hacked.
Why not?
I don't got the pull you've got. ESPN connected with.
I got chopped. Obviously, I mean, like, yeah, it was weird though. It's like, what do you do? And so, yeah, I just reported it.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine, and he hit me up. He's like, "Hey, did you just hit me up on? You should request $20 off me for Cash App." I was like, "What? Yeah. No, not a chance." Yeah. And someone was asking people for money.
Yeah. Yeah, wasn't me. Yeah, that mess happened.
I'm like, yeah, I'll take $20 though.
Well,
but that wasn't me that asked you.
Yeah, I mean, I went all shaggy on it. It wasn't me. All right, NCAA tournament. You've been listening to this. I've told you this for years. I believe the NCAA tournament is the best sporting event in our country. It lasts 3 weeks. Everybody gets involved, whether you get your McNeese State stories and you get your Gonzaga's coming out of nowhere back in the day, or your
NC State.
Yeah, all of it, man. You get all of this. I love it. And I believe that it should be hard to get into, and it should be for the elite. And Richard Pitino used to say, well, like 19.6% of college football or basketball teams get into the tournament, and 50-something% or whatever the number is get into bowl games. Well, they're different. When you're in the NCAA tournament, you're competing for a national championship. Bowl games are not competing for a national championship.
Okay.
They're not. But, I mean, it's flat out. It's apples and grapes.
Yeah.
And the college football playoff is expanding to 16 teams. So now it's 16. I think it is 16 out of 136. It's a much smaller number. Now, I mean, basically bowl games would be like the NIT or something. But it looks like they are going to expand. It looks like it might begin next season, like this coming year. Sources are telling everybody that it could go to no more than 76. 76 is more likely than 72. The current format is 68. So they're going to add 8 teams to the NCAA tournament. I don't know that that's going to help you. I think it's going to be more SEC teams and Big 12 teams and Big 10 teams and whatever. It's probably going to be all the 12 and 11 seeds will be playing games. And you're going to add another Dayton site. And this is where I was saying Albuquerque's should work their ass off, and the pit should become that Dayton. Right? You got the first 4 in Dayton. I think the other site should become the pit. This would be an ideal spot. Now, how could you do that, Jeff? You got the state tournament. I get it. And that would be a big issue. But, yes, I just find a way to make that happen.
Yeah.
But I don't love it. But you're going to have to deal with it.
I will say this. The past couple of years following the Lobos, it's the closest I've really monitored college basketball when it comes to like seeding for the tournament and things like that. I did think it was odd how even after the great season they had, they still weren't guaranteed that tournament spot. But at the same time, it's almost like you're sitting inside the house and you can throw the rocks because they made it. They got in. So it was like, yeah, we were one of the teams that got into this condensed NCAA tournament. So I guess, I don't know. I feel like for the teams who maybe were close on that brink, didn't make it, they'll love this. But I also will say is I think if the Lobos have a decent, good basketball season, a great basketball season, it ups the chances for them to get in.
Well, it ups the chances for everybody to get in. And yes, more spots means more accessibility, certainly. Who's going to get these extra spots? And look, you're still going to have an argument at number 76, 77, 78. So 77 and 78 are going to be pissed off, and they got hosed, and they got left out. And, I mean, no matter where it is, we're going to have this conversation.
Yeah, same with the college, right?
Yeah, I just find it, to me, this wasn't broken. But there's money involved. There's now going to be more inventory for the networks, which means more money. It means more money that is going to coaches who get bonused for getting to the NCAA tournament. No, everybody gets paid on this now.
When that's a factor, I was going to ask you about 30 seconds ago. So what's the motive for this? And I stopped myself because, of course, it's money. Of course, it's more money. But then again, if you're one of these schools, find a way to use that to your advantage. Get into the tournament, flip the money into something more positive.
Well, but who's getting the money, right? The coach is getting the money. There should be more units available, and it's going to be interesting to see, right? Will a Mountain West team, will a Pac team, or is it all going to? Or now instead of 13 SEC teams, am I getting 15?
Yeah.
And I just watched the SEC tournament, man. The week before I watched it. I don't need to watch it again.
Yeah.
And I know that I've always been a honk for the smaller conferences, and I understand who's left at the end. But I just watched college baseball, where again I think we have 13 SEC teams getting baseball, and I think only two Arkansas made it to Omaha. But I watched a Sun Belt team get in.
Mm-hmm.
I watched an independent team in Oregon State. Basically, they were an independent this year. Get in. I watched team. I love having accessibility for the little guys. Well, they don't play the schedule we play. Well, you didn't invite them to your league, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you've got the resources, they don't, but sometimes other guys can play too. Sometimes there is a George Mason or VMI?
Mm-hmm.
No, VCU, who gets to the Final Four. Butler comes out of nowhere. Well, Jeff, that doesn't happen very often. I want to see UConn, and I want to see Kentucky, and I want to see Kansas, and okay, cool. And you're going to see them, and if they get through, that's cool. But that's the same people who are yelling, I got to see the Lakers and Celtics. I don't want to see the Thunder and Pacers play. I'm not watching.
Exactly. And it not happening that often is what makes it so sweet when it does happen. I mean, you can't just have it, your way all the time. I had a buddy of mine. He was like, he said, I feel if you're a team with 20-plus wins from a top 10 mid-major conference, you should be in the playoffs.
I don't know that I think it's that cut and dry. I would expound on that a bit. I would go a little bit further. Who did you beat? If you only, you've got to start out. If you're in a mid-major, if you're in the Atlantic Sun, if you're in the Horizon League, the Summit League, and you win 22 games, who'd you beat? You got to step outside a little bit and beat someone. There is an argument to playing in the Big Ten or the SEC, saying that, every game is tougher than playing in the Atlantic Sun or in the MEAC. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
But by the same token, I don't know that any school in any of those leagues turned down an invitation to play against you and have the opportunity to have the resources that you have and compete. And now, I used to think, and there's part of me that still does, and I'm told I'm an idiot, that you should have to have a winning record in your league to get into the NCAA tournament. I'm told I'm a moron with that.
Does not seem very far-fetched at all. If you're not a winning record in your league, why should you be in the tournament?
Yeah. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Rudy.
Hey, let them all in. Let's just seed 1 through 352 and start the tournament that way, Jeff. Come on.
Like the regular season.
But we do, Rudy. In fact, we do. Because the conference tournaments – no, hear me on this. The week before, the conference tournaments are essentially – right? Everybody's got a chance to get in. And once you get eliminated in the Missouri Valley Conference or the Ohio Valley or the MEAC or the SWAC or whatever, then you are. So essentially, we are letting everybody in. We do have that system.
But that's not good enough for some people, Jeff. That's not good enough for some people. We have gone away from earning your place to let's let everybody in. And the moment they started monkeying with the 4 play-in games, I don't even bet those. I don't even, on my little sheet that I fill out, my buddy and I, that's a free pass because it's taken the tournament and it's turned it into something that just doesn't resonate with me the way it used to. I appreciated everything that UNM did this year and how hard they had to work, and then you find out that they have a winning record, they're conference champions, and they get a bad seed because the Power Four conferences and the people on those committees, and Bubba Cunningham, who gets, what did he get, $200,000 for sneaking North Carolina State in?
I think it was more. Oh, you mean it's his bonus for getting, it's North Carolina. He's the AD at North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina, excuse me.
And he got bonus as an AD for getting his team. And I think it was like $250,000 or something personally in his contract. Yes.
Yeah, and he just happens to be on the selection committee.
Who happened to be the chair.
Yeah, he left the room. Okay. I'm sure that his message was carried by whatever buddy he took out for drinks that night after he got his $500,000 bonus. The whole thing is corrupt, and they need to bring some sanity and some common sense into this, and the only way to do it is to limit the number of teams that get in the tournament so it means something. You worked hard for it. You earned it.
Well, they're going to limit it to 76.
Yeah,
but it's limited. They'll tell you, well, it's limited. It's limited to 76 now instead of 68.
No, you should not have, I agree with you 100%, Jeff. You should not have a losing conference record and be admitted to the NCAA tournament.
Well, our conference is tougher than yours. Well, then go play in the WAC. Like, if that's your issue, then go play somewhere that you can win.
That's the way the cookie crumbles, and that was your fate that year. So do something about it the next year, or switch conferences.
Yeah, that's
so you can, worm your way in. Yeah. I don't know, but I am not in favor of expanding the NCAA tournament, and I agree with you. It's the best 3 weeks in sports.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate you.
Take care.
I'm not in favor of it either, but it's going to happen.
He says, well,
and by the way, I'm still going to watch it. And I'm still going to love it. I'm still going to watch it. And I'll buy in, and I'll eat it, and they're going to feed me. And yeah, I mean, seriously, I'm in.
And the big point about things like this, and you made it, that will always get me, is this: you can't say the reason is so that teams that are more deserving to get in should get in, because when you expand the amount of teams that can get in, you're also now expanding not your filters, but like what you require from a team to get in. So it's just going to be more people that are going to be upset. It's just all about money. And when you know it's about money, it makes it hard for you to try to find logical reasons.
Accept it
then. Yeah. It's like, you're not going to be happy about it unless you're somehow on the board benefiting from that. Or if you're one of these colleges that could benefit from more money. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. This is probably going to happen. You can get in on it. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
Listen to 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
What's
going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep.
The people suck category. It's the opening drive. He's Isaiah in for JJ this week. I am merely Jeff Simpieta, 505-246-0610. Frank, good morning. Thanks for holding your on these sports animal. Hi, Frank.
Good morning, Jeff.
So what's the big deal? 4 more games, as long as they don't do something crazy like expand it to 100 teams or something.
Yeah.
It's just more money, more games, more opportunity. And then every so often you might have kind of a Hoosiers moment where you get some real dark horse that's competing against one of the elites in a championship game. And then, of course, the nation goes crazy because it's exciting. People like to root for dark horses. And so, what's the big deal? 4 more games.
Yeah, and so I'm getting to where you are. How about that? 4 more games probably doesn't destroy it. I was like, when they were talking 96, 112, I'm like, what are we doing? What they're doing now is adding basically another date, right? They're going to add another, and so Tuesday will be more exciting. I don't love it.
All play-ins. They're not going to play against the top 8 seeds. They're going to play against each other, beat each other up, and wear each other out.
Yeah. So New Mexico is an at-large. You'll have to go to Dayton and play Illinois to get in. Yeah.
That's right. And so it's a way of eliminating, perhaps some of the perceived weaker teams. It's a way of giving them an opportunity if they're not a weaker team. And so, it's really not that big a deal. If you go to 100 or 112 or something ridiculous like that, then it is a big deal because it dilutes the popularity of the sport. Nobody's going to watch. Okay, it's like why watch those games that first weekend or second weekend or however many dates they have to schedule if you go to that side of the tournament? It won't be interesting anymore. Okay?
Really
so
fair. Yeah.
That's the risk. If they get too large, then it gets boring.
Well, Frank, I appreciate the perspective. That's actually a really, really good call. Thank you, because I need to get there. I appreciate you. I got to get there because I love the tournament, and I will watch it. And they're not blowing it up, and they're adding 4 more games. And he's not totally wrong. Grady, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Grady.
Expansion advocates of the OD
Hardly.
and the AM. What's happening?
Hardly. I'm not a big advocate of this.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of with you. I think the term of the day is cognitive dissonance.
Okay.
When people have a set, mindset or belief or opinion about something, and they're presented with actual facts to the contrary, they can't handle it. They don't know. It's all over the place. You got people that email and text after a big win or something good that happens, and they just can't see anything good happening, so they have to come up with excuses. Oh, it was a weak team, a weak conference, blah, blah, blah. And, when people hear the power conferences, some people, they just can't accept the fact that not all the teams in those conferences are good. But the expansion, we're going to, it's not about money, it's about more worthy teams, and I have to disagree with Frank earlier. It's not going to be an expansion of opportunity. It will be an expansion of opportunity for mediocre, quote-unquote, power conference teams. Right. But actual teams that, quite frankly, that win their conference or have win multiple times, it's not going to be an expanded opportunity for them. Some people can't realize, they can't understand that if you're not from a power conference, that you can actually be good, that you can actually play good basketball. And the committee, they know that. They play upon that. They play upon the idea that some people just, for whatever reason, they just believe name brand is best, regardless of the facts that are put in front of them. And they know that they'll have people behind them. Well, that team from the whatever, they won 40 games and their conference tournament, but they didn't play in the SEC. They didn't play in the ACC.
Yeah, give me a 15 and 16 team out of the SEC because they're way better. Because back in November, they beat North Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. These mediocre also rans in these other companies, but they have the name brand, and that's what some people will refuse to understand, that that's not always the case. And it is about money. And I'm with you from the standpoint of, if it happens, or quite frankly, when it happens, let's see if we can get this city back on the schedule for hosting some of these, because that would be a big opportunity for something good to happen. Now, I'm sure we'll get the emails. Well, they were just scrub teams. Why is everybody all excited about the opportunity here? But
I don't want to watch Monmouth play St. Francis.
Right. Yeah, it's Saturday, and I got to go out and cut my grass. So why would I do that? So that kind of garbage is never going to go away. But hopefully, the folks that actually make decisions around here will be ready to jump on an opportunity.
I hope so. All right, Mac. Thanks for the call. Good to hear you.
Appreciate the time.
Yeah, get used to it. It's going to happen. I think here's an opportunity. Let's jump on this, man. Let's get the Pit in that rotation. Dayton's taking advantage of that. Dayton has become that site. It's like Omaha for the College Baseball World Series, for Oklahoma City for the College Softball World Series. Dayton is the first four, and I get it. It might not be the most glamorous thing, the first four, whatever. Now it'll be the first 8 games.
Yeah, I encourage.
Get in on it.
Exactly. I encourage, all the fans of college sports, college basketball, I guess, for this this specific thing, to take your approach with it, Jeff. Like, take your approach. That's how, also just with life, how you handle this. It's like, look, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So rather than be so upset it's going to happen, try to figure out ways you can benefit from it.
100%.
That's how a lot of these colleges got ahead of the schedule for NIL. That's how they will get ahead of the schedule for NIL or keep up. And that's how you can keep up for things like this. Also, I can't imagine not having those games at the Pit would hurt UNM in any way.
It would be glorious.
It'd be amazing for UNM. So
it'd be great for the city, for you. For everybody. It'd be glorious.
So if that happens, then all of a sudden, now how do you feel about the expansion? Yeah.
Take advantage of it. Look, the great Geddy Lee said, changes aren't permanent, but change is. And change is coming, and embrace it. How then do you take advantage of it?
Say that again?
Changes aren't permanent, but change is. Right?
It's like a Wednesday morning sermon here.
Well, it's part of a song, certainly. Great Rush song. Changes aren't permanent, but changes.
I like it.
But it's just the truth, right? Change happens all the time. Now, those changes will change again, meaning change is continuous. But the changes themselves aren't permanent, but changes. 505-246-0610. When we get back, the latest version of People Suck, and it brought a grown man baseball player. They say there's no crying in baseball. There was crying in baseball last night in the big leagues. Hey, taking a roadie, huh? How's your car? Well, maybe it looks good now, but when you get back, nasty. Or maybe now is nasty because life happened. Mine gets that way too, and I get it. On the Spot Automotive Detailing takes care of you. They take care of your vehicle. On the Spot Automotive Detailing comes to you at your convenience when and where it works for you. And they detail your vehicle. They bring their mobile unit to you. You don't drop your car off. You don't need a ride back. You don't sit in their waiting room for 2 hours. You're busy. They get it. You're in your office. You're with your kids. They're detailing your vehicle. When they're done, it looks and feels and smells like the day you took it off a lot. Brand new car feel without a brand new car price. You will have your vehicle for a while. It's just the way it is, man. And it's one of your biggest investments. Take care of it. Protect it. On the Spot Automotive Detailing has been voted best in the city because they're best in the city. Talk to them about their professional window tinting services to keep your car cool. They will offer you also paint protection film and ceramic coating to avoid all the debris, the rocks, the junk that's flying around. It is your vehicle. You spend a lot of time in it. Love on it. Make sure to book today. On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Go online. It's all right there at otsdetailing.com. That is otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What was the movie? The Tom Hanks movie, The Call. The women's baseball team where he was the manager of the women's professional baseball team. What the hell was the name of the movie? Anyway, no crying in baseball. There's no crying in baseball. I know there was last night. This is the latest version of People Suck. It's the opening drive. I hate this. 505-246-0610. Isaiah's in for JJ. I'm Jeff Symbieta. Have you seen this story on Ketel Marte?
No, inform me.
So Ketel Marte is the second baseman for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Really good baseball player. Really, really good player. His mother passed away in 2017 in a car accident in the Dominican Republic. Okay? I mean, it's just tragic. He's a young man. His mom passed away. I don't know when you get over that. I don't know how you all think you're supposed to get over that. I don't care. Diamondbacks were playing last night in Chicago against the White Sox. And some clown in the stands, and I have not found what exactly was said. I only see it written about, described as vile chirping regarding his mother, who died in this accident.
Oh, my goodness.
So some guy, I guess it's a 22-year-old idiot who was very apologetic and remorseful after the fact and admitted to being very inappropriate and stupid with his comments. Some 22-year-old fan who was identified and removed from the game. But look, there's a line, man, and you're gonna talk about someone's dead mother. Everybody thinks they're funny. You've been to a ball game, right? I remember going out. San Diego State, we used to have this thing called Raggers Rail out in right field for baseball games, and I remember, man, one guy going over the line once with this guy McGorder from Hawaii and ripping on his mom. And I'm like, whoa, dude, you're out of your mind. Like, that's too much.
Mm-hmm.
And we've all been to a ball game, and you know, people think they're funny, right?
Yeah.
Everybody thinks they're damn funny.
Yeah.
The team came out and had to console him. Torey Lovullo's the manager of the Diamondbacks, said I could see he was sobbing. It hurt. I told him I love you and I'm with him and we're all together and you're not alone. No matter what happens, no matter what was said or what you heard, that guy's an idiot. It shouldn't have an impact on you. That's what the manager said.
Yeah.
Teammates felt mad about the incident. Geraldo Perdomo is the shortstop. That can't happen. We can't continue to do that, bleep, here in Major League Baseball. That fan should be banned for sure. What, like, at what point? I get it, man. You drink and you think you're funny, or you're just an a-hole, or you're just. How do you go out to a ball game and obviously you did some research, or you know some? How do you get to a point where? Never mind. Hey, Marte, you suck. Okay. Hey, Marte, nice swing. I've seen better swings in the playground. Okay. Right? You know, okay. Now I'm going to your dead mom. Like, what are we doing? How do you become such a vile, disgusting human being?
Yeah.
And I hope you don't have an answer.
There's no answer for that. Well, I mean, there isn't an explanation. It's not validated. But I mean, what these kids do is, I mean, of course, I'm 27. I stopped, or at least the energy and the tendency of my peers saying things like this stopped at like the age of 16, 17 years old. Because at that point in time,
let me just tell you something. If my kid ever said that, I don't care if she was 8, 28, 18, it would be one damn time. No, honestly, how does it like get to the point where you're there? That's more. I don't even care where it stopped, and I'm sorry to cut you off.
No.
How do you get there? Why is that something? I don't care if you're 16. How is that where you're freaking going?
Yeah, and the people around him. I mean, for him to be able to say it loud enough for a player on the field to hear it, people around him should have been looking at him like, you need to shut up.
Yeah, are they laughing with him? That's funny, dude. Keep going.
He 100%, without even looking at it, I know he's with his friends. You know, I know he's with his friends, and they probably, here the thing is, now they amongst each other probably say, but that's still, it's not even close to a validation. Yeah. And
it's an explanation. I understand.
Yeah, and it's really sick that people go that route. And also, you know, for him, you know, when he gets upset, there's going to be also people that suck out there and say, oh, well, he's got to learn to be tougher than that. He can't cry because everyone's going to
stop. Yeah, stop. You're a human being.
Exactly. And it all depends on timing. You know, he could have woke up thinking about it that morning. You know, he could have maybe been thinking about it.
You don't know what people are going through.
Exactly. So
I just, man, I hear this stuff, and I don't know Ketel Marte. I know his game a little bit. But I see the video of a grown ass man on a baseball field sobbing. I mean, his mom died in a wreck, and granted, it was 7-8 years ago. But
does not matter.
Look, you don't get over that stuff.
Mm-mm.
Who you got on one?
We've got it's Terry, but he wants to talk about a little bit more of a lighter subject. I can say the least.
All right, well, he can lighten me up. What's up, Terry?
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Isaiah. Yeah, bring the temperature a little on the lighter side. But, you know, a few years back when they started talking about computers calling balls and strikes, I thought it was a little lighthearted when I said, well, you know, how do you heckle a computer, say your mom's vacuum cleaner or something like that. But from just in general, people go too far. They do it on social media now because they hide behind something, so then they think it's scouted for it. So that's terrible. But first of all, I got to rib Isaiah a little bit. I thought, you know, I need to buy Isaiah lunch sometime, but then I heard he's willing to pay $100 for a pay-per-view, so maybe he's making the big bucks.
Yeah, he's
buying me lunch.
Yeah, he's fine. With all these hours he's getting here, he's on every damn show.
Yeah. But someday, hopefully someday we get together. I will buy you lunch. You're a good soul. Jeff, I'd buy you lunch too, but you eat at all the foo-foo places. Some of us blue-collar people.
You know where I went to lunch yesterday? And I loved it. And I don't know this foo-foo, although I think it's great. I went to the Monte Carlo Steakhouse.
Yeah, how was that?
It was awesome. Saw George down there. I love the Monte Carlo.
Oh, that's a good place. Yeah, you did well on that.
Would you call that foo-foo?
What? Foo-foo, some of that. Well, you're more... You know, for some of us that eat at Applebee's or, you know, Buffalo Wild Wings, or how you despise First Cafeteria, where I had to survive.
First Cafeteria was nasty. Come on now. Well, we might have had to eat there, but we agree it was nasty, right?
Well, you know, from as time went on, it got nasty. But I had to feed my son.
I get
so you're
it.
talking about a 280-pound lineman.
Oh, man,
I mean,
do
I
what you
wanted
gotta
to
do.
get
I
his
just don't.
money's worth.
Fair
you
enough.
know?
All right. I'm gonna go to
Okay.
Monte Carlo. You go to Furs. We're good.
Okay, but they don't exist. But I thought 64 teams was perfect. Of course, you know, they couldn't stay with that, expand it. I thought the football proved themselves right going to 12 because if they'd stuck to 4, Ohio State's not in the playoff.
Yeah,
you know, they wouldn't have been got a chance. So I thought 12 worked, and they could have lived with.
It did
yeah,
work.
Boise State got a bye, so what? And you know, moved up. No, we got to go to 16 and all that. But yeah, from the level of teams they put in, it you know, it is an afterthought when you get to 800. I mean, are you for all you who want anybody, you have to have at least a 500 record. You have the Ivy League teams get in. I don't know, but so. It's something where you take something good and you can always have too much. You know, you get a banana split, you want a little whipped cream, you don't want the whole thing being whipped cream, but and that's a different story on that. So but I got a story and Zay, you know, Jeff's got a few years on him, so maybe you can remember to ask Kenny. If Kenny was playing in a golf tournament, same with you, Zay, if you were, having played other sports, that guy Henley who turned himself in Saturday.
Yeah, Russell Henley lost by one stroke. Yeah, he lost by one stroke and called a penalty stroke on himself on Friday.
I was hoping for a 3-person playoff and him come back after that, but so be it. But
damn near happened too.
Would Kenny turn himself in the golf tournament if he did that? And say, think back to when you were up there playing football tackle. Did you ever go up to the ref? Hey, ref, I think I grabbed the guy's face mask. You better call a penalty on me.
Give me 15.
Yeah, it's a different world and all that. So, you know, I'm sure glad I called in on a light moment, boys. You know, we're bring the crowd down, and so I think the guy would have, if it had been in my crew, he might have got pounded a little bit. Just would tell him get out, and we would have never gone to a game with that guy ever again. And
he needed an ESPY.
Despicable what he did. Yeah.
All right, man. Enjoy the week.
All right. Have a good one.
See
Be
you.
safe.
He's talking about Russell Henley. So in the Travelers the other day, in golf, you call your own rules. And Russell Henley called a one-stroke penalty on himself. Nobody saw it. He said as he approached the ball moved. TV cameras didn't catch it. Nobody caught it. And he called the one-stroke penalty on himself. And he lost. He finished in second place by one stroke.
Well, yeah, you got to keep. It's almost like you got to keep depositing so you can have credit. You got to make sure you do things like that. So moving forward,
he would have deposited a hell of a lot more money into his account if he didn't call that penalty on himself. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't turn myself into a ref, but definitely a coach. If I know he's going to see it on film, it's like, okay, let me go get ahead of this thing.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, we'll wrap it up when we get back. Emails are still open. So is the text line and phone line, 505-246-0610 or Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. It's the opening drive. Thanks for finding us on a Wednesday on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Boswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
League of Their Own was the movie, by the way. Stigler told me that, so did the text line. Opening drive, Zay's in for JJ. Isaiah Johnson would be ZJ. How many nicknames you got now?
Just 2. Unless I guess Zay and ZJ is 2 itself.
Yeah, there'd be 2. Well, I mean, on this show, you if you're filling in for JJ and you are ZJ, right?
Yeah, that works. I mean, me and JJ have the same birthday, so that works.
Do you really?
Yeah, we're both.
That's so cute.
We're both August 24 babies.
Really? That's really cute.
Yep. So every time on our birthday, we get to turn on ESPN and see a bunch of Kobe highlights. So I guess it's like in California, that's Mamba Day. That's Kobe Day.
Is that his birthday too?
No, so his is the 23rd, but he wore number 8 and wore number 24.
So August 24th.
Yep.
Got it. What are LeBron's 2 numbers? 6 and
23.
So is June 23rd in Cleveland or Toledo or Akron?
There will 100%. There'll be something. I don't know what the biggest thing will be, but there will be something that will be named after him, and it's going to be bigger than a statue.
Where?
It's a great question. Cleveland for sure. I don't know about Lakers.
No way in LA.
Yeah, no.
Bigger than a statue. That means LeBron would get more than Shaq, Magic, Kobe. No.
No. I think a statue would be pushing it, honestly.
I 100% agree. But the Lakers are the franchise that hang the freaking banner for winning the in-season tournament. So would they make a statue for a mediocre star? Oh, I said.
Possibly. They better not retire his number, nothing.
Which number?
23 cannot get retired.
Look,
man. The NBA, no, that wouldn't shock me. If the NBA was like, no, they can't. No, you can't retire it. Nope, you can't retire it.
No, I mean, the NBA is talking about recreating the logo. Or I don't know if the NBA is. People have. That it should be Kobe or LeBron. No, man, you have a logo.
Leave it, Jerry.
Like, you have a logo. You honored your past. Like why?
And people are also going to be quick. I mean, it's already people. I'm a Laker fan, so I know about Jerry West. But you got a lot of people today that don't know how good he was.
Even more so why you need to keep the logo the same.
Exactly.
You know, we just forget our history. We forget our past. Well, I don't know. It was before my time. Okay.
Those were
learn
plumbers.
about it, for crying out loud.
Those guys were plumbers. It's like, not that easy.
Yeah, they weren't athletic. Oh, okay. All right. They couldn't play in today's game. Yeah, they could. Yeah, they could because they'd have today's training and today.
Exactly.
Yeah, they could.
In today's evolving of the brain.
Stop. There's no way to compare eras.
I think you have to. The only way to do it is you have to compare what they did against their peers.
Of course.
And that's the best way to do it. And I think that's when you go into the whole GOAT debate. You have to look at who was Michael to the league at the time and who was LeBron to his league at the time.
Yeah, and LeBron was all right.
To say the least.
I have one way to compare eras. I've always wanted to do this. I've actually pitched it. Golf. You take one of the legendary golf courses. I don't care if it's, pick it. Pebble, Augusta, whatever.
Torrey Pines?
Maybe.
Yeah,
they were playing back in the day. And you have the current golfers play with equipment from the 50s. Meaning woods, golf balls that were rocks, not these super high spin golf balls and these carbon fiber heads that are, the ball's going 360 yards in the air, or whatever it is.
Golf balls were rocks?
Dude, they were like little, like hard as hell, man. Like it's funny. Last summer, my brother and I pulled out my granddad's old bag with his, and he passed away in 2006 and he was 93, but he had golf balls in there like from the probably from the 80s and 70s. I mean, they were just hard as rocks. Now you get these super soft, super spin, high velocity. I mean, technology, right? It's like anything else, dude. Like pick your sport, pick your game, pick whatever technology.
It'll always get better.
So have those dudes play with equipment from the 60s and see how they do. Now, they wouldn't do it because it would screw up their swing. The shafts would be different. Obviously, you're not swinging a Volkswagen on a stick like you are now. Like you go pick up an old wooden driver, and it's the size of a hybrid now. But otherwise, I don't know how else. I mean, what are you going to just put these guys in short shorts and say we're outlawing the slam dunk?
Yeah. It's hard to not want to compare them because you want to see these things. That's what I will say is very cool about video games. Yeah, that is what I do like about games, and maybe this AI stuff is you can really put things in like a simulation and see.
Hey man, it's still simulated. You just don't really know. All right, the Herd with Colin Cowherd will be next. Then you get the Jim Rome Show. 2 Men On is in at 4 with no Isaiah, because you're not moonlighting if you're early lighting. What do you call it when you're cheating on them with me?
Compromising.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
We'll do better.
Okay, yeah.
We're back with award-winning radio tomorrow morning starting at 7 a.m. Adrian, great work as always on the visuals. Appreciate you. Thanks for getting up and being part of it, Isaiah.
Always.
Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We shall smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All In Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Got shots?